Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moonriver. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. Also, there are two donation links down below in the description. Feel free to support Ukraine if you want to do so. You can go over to the official websites I linked below and you can donate to support the Ukrainian refugees. Thank you all for watching and let's get on with the video. So jumping into the daily chart, this is TradingView. As you can see, we dipped to the bottom of this buy zone that I gave you. And as you can see, we're just holding above the lower part of the buy zone, and we have landed here previously in June and we wicked below there in July, and we almost came back down to this exact same level in the middle of July. And right now we're coming back down to where we started retracing from. So you printed the bottom here, you started a nice little uptrend, and now you're coming back down to where you came from. Pretty, basic stuff. And there's a chance that we might lose this low here and come back down lower. That would be quite negative in my opinion. But I think Bitcoin can still, print a lower low, which means that we still could lose $17,500. That could happen with any black swan event. We could potentially see another capitulation in December after the uptrend that we're probably gonna get in October/November. So there is still some room for downside here. And the level below us is at $9.72. That is the 2.272 Fibonacci retracement level. We have almost got to that level. We almost got to that level in June here with the pullback, and we basically printed the bottom at $9.80. So potentially you could set up some buy limit orders at these levels here in case we do see further capitulations. But I would say that even right now is a very good buying price for Moonriver because it's basically at all-time low prices here. If you have been buying Moonriver above $50, then it's a great time to be accumulating more, right? If you bought in here at $145 and you've been buying through this downtrend, right now is the time to be accumulating, because if you take a look at the price here, and if we don't lose this low here, and you don't continue going lower, then you're really printing a bullish pattern here, because this is going to be a very nice double bottom pattern, which we haven't seen throughout this downtrend. Because here you really had a sideways channel, you lost that, you came back up, another capitulation, came back up, another capitulation. So you constantly fail to hold lows, and you keep printing lower lows. So this is this could be the instance where we actually hold the previous low and continue on from there and start creating higher highs into 2023 and 2024. That is a very real possibility, but also you have to consider all the FUD that's in the markets now, and people may want to sell their risk on assets, and Bitcoin is one of those assets. So potentially we may see more dips. So just be ready for that. If we want to throw in a Fibonacci retracement here, just to see what our minimal targets to the downside would be in case we do lose this low that we printed in June. And our bottom level here would be the 1.272, or the minimal level, I should say, which is at $7.88. Okay, and then you have your 1.618 here at $5.96. But I think that is far-fetched, and I don't think we're going to be getting down to those prices. However, if we see a capitulation, $7 is still a possibility. But I do think even if that happens, that's going to be a very, very quick dip to the downside, and we recover within minutes, just like we have done so many times before in crypto. So if you want to set up limit orders throughout these levels here, that could be a very smart thing to do, because if you're asleep, your orders will be executed no matter what, and you're gonna wake up to some profits from your projects, right? And you can do this with any project, really, not only Moonriver, because once Bitcoin dips, if Bitcoin dips to $15,000, $14,000, then altcoins will bleed hard, and that's the time to be entering, especially considering that pretty much everyone is going to be selling at that point, and that's exactly when you want to be buying. Based off of this Fibonacci retracement, as you can see, we have a high here in May and the swing low in May as well. And you came back down after printing that high and you started retracing. You ran into the golden ratio at $22, creating that dead cat bounce. You're coming back down, potentially creating a double bottom pattern, which is going to be the bullish reversal pattern that everyone is looking for, right? Because if you start breaking this, if you start breaking the neckline, which is basically the line over here, which is the high that we printed, then you potentially could be looking at, let me just give you that. Actually, we're just going to take the body of the candles and we're going to take a trend line here. So from the top there, I seemingly can't get to my trend line for some reason. So from there all the way down to the bottom of the double bottom pattern, and then you are potentially looking at $33.50 per Moonriver token, and that's only if we start breaking this high here. So there is a potential we might start breaking to the upside, obviously, but you're getting pretty overextended from the EMAs here at this point. So a retest of the 20 EMA at least is what I would be looking at starting next month, right? Because I do think we're going to see a nice pump towards November. And we've seen that for the past 2 years, but that wasn't a bull market, so I don't think the move is going to be as bullish into November this time around, but I do think it's going to be bullish nonetheless. So yeah, major levels ahead of us, and if you want to get as much profit potential, just buy on red days. And right now, as you can see, if you just zoom out and take a look at the price, it's very easy to see where the prices were expensive and when the prices are cheap. So here, the prices, obviously, you know, we didn't have all of this when we were here, but with this pullback, you can see that if you were buying here, then you probably should dollar cost average here, because this is very, very cheap. And Moonriver has pulled back down from its all-time high prices. Let me just get there we go. So that's around about 99%, 98% pullback. So it really, really dipped. And it's in the low cap gem territory as well right now, because it's below $100 million market cap. So I think there's huge potential for Moonriver. If we jump into the daily chart, we're still targeting the good old red support trend line, because we still haven't retested that, even though I've been talking about this for more than a month, I think. But I'm still looking for a back test of this red trend line. With any sort of pullback, we might just land on this trend line, and you will know that that's a good level to be buying off of, because the last time we did that in January, we saw a very nice move to the upside. We did that also in May, and we saw a nice move to the upside, and we did have a little fake out below that, touching the white support trend line here that also has 2 touches. So if you go below the red trend line, obviously that's also a good time to be buying. And after that, we saw a nice move into the overbought going into August. So every time you're kind of in the zone, you have a nice move to the upside, and you don't even need the trend lines in this zone. You know, this is just for me, because I like to see where the RSI lands. But if you're below the index of 30, that's really the only thing you should know, because once you're oversold, aka below the index of 30, then that's basically a perfect opportunity to buy into your project. And if you're above the index of 70, like here and like here, that's a good time to start selling, because the project is very much overbought. So that's regarding the daily chart. And yeah, you have a couple of support levels below that I just gave you. So the 2.272 and the 2.414 levels at $9.72 and $9.06. Those are good levels to dollar cost average at. And if you're looking at resistance levels, you obviously have the yellow trend line here, and the previous support, which is now resistance at $13.50, the yellow trend line at $12.80. You have the 55 daily EMA, the 20 daily EMA, which are the lines that you see here, the red one and the yellow one. And obviously we did retest the 1.618 here, which is the blue level of the fib, and we did retest that as resistance. So potentially you might just come back up there into November. You may go higher, right? But you may run into this level once again and create that double top pattern. and that's a negative pattern for those of you who don't know. But if we do end up breaking above this high over here, let's just take a Fib retracement to see what are our potential targets to the upside in that case. So we're going to be looking at a $17 at least as our technical target after we break this level here at $14. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.